Alright, hi everyone, how are we all doing today? Today's video will be kind of interesting because I'm going to be discussing something that I've never really ever talked about, but was such a big part of my life. And without wasting anyone's time, let's jump right into it. I'm going to be talking about how I was once an escort. Now, this doesn't get talked about enough, but it is so common in the trans community, you guys. Like, it is way too common. So, being trans, you have the upper hand of being a woman with a dick. And so a lot of guys fetishize that and they love that so much. And you can't just find that walking on the street. You have to like go online to look for that. And so guys are willing to like pay to spend some quality time with that. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys what an escort is. The Urban Dictionary escort is someone who is paid for their time, often compared to a prostitute. Oops. So I knew about this lifestyle going on. I knew that there were so many trans escorts. It was like very common actually. And at the time, all my friends were escorts. Literally, I couldn't think of a trans friend that I had who wasn't an escort. And I was the little Elena Genevieve, the YouTuber. And so I would always be in this world just watching, but I never really dabbled into it because I was a YouTuber. And I was like, I'm fine. I think I'm gonna stick to being a YouTuber for now. Keyword for now. I've been around this industry for about like 2-3 years until I myself got into it. So I met this girl named Bianca, and me and her aren't really friends right now, apparently. I don't know, but she's always telling me like, Elena, don't forget who fucking made you, don't forget who made you who you are today. So I will give credit where credit is due. Bianca literally, allegedly made me who I am today. I mean, not really. I was Elena Genevieve, the YouTuber, before I even met her. She made out the escort side in me. So she made the escort Elena, but I will not give her credit for making Elena because I was a name before I even met her. So I met Bianca about a year ago and I saw the lifestyle that she had. She had this glamorous, like upscale life, and I met her and fell in love with everything she had. She was always like wearing designer stuff, just literally just being the girl. And I saw that and I was like, oh my God, I love what you have going on. I love what I'm seeing. I want this for myself because I was a YouTuber. I had a name, but I didn't have all this lux. And so Miss Bianca took me under her wing and taught me her ways. She taught me how to post an ad. She taught me how to do this. She taught me everything I needed to know regarding escorting. She really just paved the way for me. And I just took it from there. And so within a few months of escorting, I was able to move out. I got a roommate though because I didn't like the idea of like being like a brand new escort and just like working by myself because that kind of scared me. And so I got a roommate. He was a Marine. He was in the military, a sergeant, and he was like this really like, you know, safe guy. I felt really safe living with him because if anything ever happened, he was there to protect me. And so I was like, I live with a man. It was like a guy's house though. So like the living room was decorated his way. It looked like a man cave, but my room was like feminine and girly. I did all that and I worked for a year. I was an escort for a whole year, and then we'll get back into like that. How escorting works is you basically post an ad and you have a number. You have to have a second number because you don't want any of the stuff tracing back to you. So you guys are always asking me like, why do I have 2 phones? At the time, one was the personal phone and one was the work phone. So I had a different prepaid line number. I never traced anything. I never put anything on my name regarding this phone. I never paid for this phone with anything under my name. I always paid for this phone in cash because it can't be traced back to me. And so this is the number that I would use to like put on the ad. And like on the ad, you guys, make sure you don't ever use your real name. Don't ever use your real name. Always go by a different name. So I'm gonna say my whore name because my whore name was either Katarina or it was Candace or it was at one point Rapunzel. So have some fun with it. So I had an ad, I had all that, and I had it on the website where all the TS girls were. And this was so funny because a lot of like my supporters, a lot of my like subscribers would recognize me and then they'll DM me and they'll be like, Elena, oh my God, this person's using your photos as like an ad. And I'm just responding back and I'm like, oh my God, how dare they? That's not me. I'm not an escort. Because at the time I was so like embarrassed and shameful to be an escort only because I grew up as like a socialite. I was Elena Genevieve. Like I was Elena Genevieve. Every trans girl knew me because during that time, like I had a prime moment, honey. I was the shit. And so I was like, oh my God, I cannot be Elena Genevieve, the YouTuber, down to an escort. So I was like, no, I need to deny. But I mean, at this point, I literally don't care anymore because like, what's whoopsie fucking do? And so I would always deny and always deny, I'd be like, that's not me, but bitch, it was me the whole time. And there are so many times where like my supporters would be like, oh my god, girl, it's not you, I'll report them, I'm gonna get this page taken down. And I'm like, wait, don't do that, because whoever's using my photos, what do they really need to use it to work? Don't do that, don't go against their finances, girl, just let them use my photos. It was actually me the whole entire time, and I was like, don't ban my account, please, because I'm working to pay rent. Anyway, so that being said, I was one of the most laziest escorts ever, because I was always so picky with who my clients were. I would always so picky about who I wanted to see. So a lot of the clients and a lot of the people that called me were like really old, not attractive looking men. And I was kind of just like, I'm not really about this. Like, they're not that cute. I don't want to see them. And so I was very picky. I would only pick the really hot ones, because believe it or not, there are a lot of hot guys. And so I would look at them and I'd be like, would I entertain this guy for free? And if the answer is yes, then I take them and get their coin anyways, you know? So yeah, I was an escort, but I never really hustled, because I was always so picky with who I wanted to see and who I didn't want to see. Rather than seeing them all and just looking at it as like money, I kind of saw it as like, I want to get something out of this too. I want it to be enjoyable for me too. And so I would always pick the guys that were like 6 foot and above, you know, just the really hot guys, because I wanted to like enjoy it at least and like get some coin out of it. Why not? But I will say you have to be careful with who you see, because there are a lot of sketch guys on there. And so that goes down to the second thing, which is this app called Mr. Number. And basically a lot of the girls use this, and they will put, it's like a background check. So you put in the number that they're contacting you from, and it leaves reviews. So for example, let's say if a guy messaged me and I'll put in his number, and if he has contact other girls, and let's say he was like sketch with them, those girls will leave a review saying, oh, this guy's sketch, he did this to me. Or sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, this guy's super easy. And so that's how you know whether or not to see the guy or not. A lot of the times they'll be like, oh, this guy's a cop, do not see him. You know, it's a little small community that helps each other, and it's so cute. So I always made sure to do a background check on the guys that I would see, just to make sure I'm not bringing any sus guys in. Another thing is you need to always to make sure, you know, you don't ever touch the money. You don't ever touch, well, we don't call it like, we call it donation. And it's kind of just like, because, you know, like, do you have my donation? But I never like that. That to me sounds very like not it. So I would always say my gift. So I would always be like, oh, my gift is this much. And if they were down for it, then I'd be like, perfect. And as soon as they walk in, I'd be like, oh, do you have my gift? And if you do, set it over there on the, you know, counter or something, on the dresser. And then they would, and I would never ever touch my gift until they were gone. Sometimes though, I would tell them like, so this is what I would do at one point. I would tell them, oh, do you have my gift? And they'll be like, oh yeah, your gift is right here. And I'll be like, perfect, put it over there. And then they'll do it. And once they set it down, I'll tell them, oh, can you go wash your hands? I'm like really like germophobic. And they'll be like, yeah, of course. And in the time where they're washing their hands, I'll take the gift, I'll count it, and I'll toss it and hide it away just so they can't get it back. Because a lot of the times they will do some fuck shit and they will try to get it back. You just never know who you're inviting into your home. It was a very dangerous life. And a lot of these girls, they will like work out of hotel rooms, but I never liked the idea of that, because you never know when it's gonna be poppin' and when it's not gonna be poppin'. So I didn't like the idea of like getting a hotel room and just waiting around for calls. And so I worked out of my apartment. That way it's kind of like, if I did get a call, bitch, I'm ready. And you guys need to understand that this is such a common thing in the trans community. Like, half the trans girls that you guys follow most likely are an escort. I mean, if you think about it, they're always in a hotel room. They're always having this luxe shit. They're never really clocked into anywhere. They're always just chilling at home. It's because they're an escort. You guys get it? Like, you guys need to know this is so normal in the trans industry. Like, that one vlog where I went on the airplane for the first time going to Dallas, it definitely wasn't like a fun vacation. It was for work. Bitch, I went out there to escort. And so I'm making this video because like I want to talk about it, because it's just something that's like I've always been ashamed of, but like I feel like it needs to be talked about more, because a lot of these people are always so curious, like, Elena, what do you do for work? What do you do for this? And like I'm always not talking about it, and like I want to be honest with you guys. Like, bitch, I was an escort at one point. Keyword was. We'll get back into that. So after I did the whole escorting gig, I would again, I was the laziest escort ever. You know, I just made enough. I made enough to pay rent and I would stop, because I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I mean, it was fun, it was easy money, and like in the time I was in love. I was like, oh my god, I just spent like an hour with this guy and look at how much money I got. Oh my god. But like once I made enough for the day, I would clock out and just like, all right, let's go eat to celebrate. So I would work, make money, and then eat like at the end of the night and just like, oh my god, I worked so good, ah! But yeah, and so after doing that for a whole year, my lease was ending with my roommate, and I was kind of like, I can either renew the lease or move out on my own. And so again, I didn't like escorting that much. It just wasn't for me. I never like hustled like crazy on there. I never saw like a bunch of guys. I kind of just like saw the guys that I thought were attractive. So I wasn't making bank at all, but I was making enough to like pay my bills and survive. And so lease was ending. My roommate was kind of like, do you want to renew the lease or what do you want to do? And I decided, well, I have enough money here. I might try to move out on my own and just, you know, be on my own. And so that's why I moved into this apartment. I have this whole apartment to myself. When I moved in here, what was left of my escorting money, because when you escort, you get paid in cash. And so I had all my cash and I just used all that cash to move into this apartment. So when I moved in here, I was left with zero money. Because again, I told you, I never worked to hustle. I worked to pay bills and just have enough to survive. And so when I moved into this apartment, I used whatever leftover money that I had from escorting that was on cash. I put it in my bank, made a deposit to move in here. So my first month living in here, I had zero money to my name. No cash, no nothing. I don't know what I was thinking, but I did it just because I was kind of like, I'm not gonna do the lease with this guy. I need to move it on my own, and I'll figure it out by then. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. And so when I moved into this apartment, I decided, why not start an OnlyFans? Because my mother, my trans mother, Eden the doll, always told me, Elena, don't be an escort. Like, use your following to like make money. Like, you have a good following, use it. Like, use it to your advantage. And so I decided, why not? And so I made an OnlyFans, and I promoted my OnlyFans all over my escorting ad, my Instagram, my YouTube, and I just put it out there that, hey bitch, Elena got an OnlyFans. And so everyone is like signing up at this point because they're like, wait a minute, I grew up watching Elena transition. I want to see this bitch naked. I want to see how hung she is. I want to see everything. And so everyone subscribed to see my shit, and that made me so much money. And that was the start of like my life in this apartment. So when I moved in here, I had zero cash. I used whatever leftover I had to get into it, and then everything in this apartment was made from OnlyFans. These curtains, from OnlyFans. This bed sheet, OnlyFans. Everything in my apartment is from OnlyFans, because when I moved in here, I got my whole entire apartment furnished. Everything in here came from OnlyFans. So you guys wanna know what my work is? My work is OnlyFans. That's what it is. And bitch, I've been throwing it back like crazy on there. So of course, this is what's the outcome. So ever since I moved into this apartment, I stopped escorting. I just didn't like the idea. Before I had my roommate, I felt safe. If anything happened, he was there to help me out. But because I live completely alone now, I didn't want to escort. I was like, fuck that. Like, I didn't really enjoy it back then. It was something that I did for like a year, and like, I didn't like it. I'm over it, but now I'm making a new source of income to where I can enjoy and have fun. Before, I was dreading being an escort. I was kind of like, oh, I don't want to see this guy. I don't want to have a client. Oh my god, I don't want to do this. But now, because I'm a whole ass OnlyFans girl, I literally wake up, post, and you know, take some nudes, get fucked on camera once in a while, and boom, rent's made. And so when I moved in here, I stopped escorting. I didn't like bringing strange guys into here because if anything were to happen, I'm completely alone in here. But I will say, my escorting ad is still up. I still pay for it. I still pay to keep it up and running. So my ad is up there. And the reason why I have it up so is because in the caption or in the description, I promote my OnlyFans. So I have the ad up to promote my OnlyFans, so they can't make it to see me, which they never do because I don't see anyone. They'll subscribe to my OnlyFans instead. So this is my work phone. This is the number that is linked to my escorting ad, and I have 1,860 missed text messages that are unopened because I'm telling you, I don't, like, people still contact me, like, clients still want to see me, they still call me, they still do everything, but I don't pick up, I don't see anyone because I don't want to work, I don't want to be an escort, I didn't like it, it wasn't for me. And so ad is still up, they're still able to contact me. I still see messages, like there are so many unopened messages in here, but I don't ever check it because I don't like escorting. I'm not gonna see any clients. I'm not gonna see you, stop texting me. So if you guys are lucky, you'll find my ad, it's up there somewhere. TS name is Katarina, so knock yourself out. So anyways, after I put my escorting life behind me, I'm now a whole ass porn star. I'm no longer an escort, I don't work, I'm not an escort anymore, you guys. And I have moved on from being an escort to an OnlyFans porn star, which is so funny to me. So before, I would see guys that I didn't really like, but I would do it anyways because the coin was cute. But now it's like, I get to literally hook up with so many hot guys. I'll record it and I'll just post it on my OnlyFans, and there you go. Rent's made, bitch. So now it's kind of just like, I'll go on a date with the guy, and you know, if he's really, really cute and hot, you know, and like we're going back to my place, we're gonna hook up, I'll be like, wait, can I like record this? Like, can I like whoop the camera out? And they'll be like, yeah, fucking go for it. I'm like, hell yeah. So now I'm enjoying getting fucked by this guy all while like making money on OnlyFans. So it's a win-win for me, honestly. And like, I love it. I love it. My occupation literally right now is being paid for just being hot. Like, I go on OnlyFans and I just flex my hotness, and then I get paid for it. So like, you have the guys in the ads who are kind of like wanting to see me, but they can't. But oh my god, wait, she has an OnlyFans, I'll go subscribe to that. So you have those horny little old men that want to see me, but they can't, so they'll subscribe to my OnlyFans. Boom, rent's made. You have my following who are curious about what I'm posting on there. Boom, rent's made. At this point, it's kind of just like, I'm rolling on in money. I am so happy with my life. Honestly, I don't care what anyone has to say about me anymore, because like at the end of the day, they're not paying my bills. Their opinions aren't paying my bills, and they can talk all their shit, but guess what? They're still gonna subscribe. So at this point, like, who cares? Like, at this point, who really cares? Like why are you hiding it at this point? And like, I wish I had this mentality back then, but it took me so long to realize, like, yeah, I was in the adult industry, I still am, and like, it's okay, it's so normal. Like, it's so normal to just be in the adult industry at this point. So it's like, fuck it, like, honestly, who cares? I went from being a hairdresser to an escort, and now a porn star on OnlyFans. And you know what? I can honestly, I'm like the happiest I've ever been in life, because I'm literally getting paid to just like fuck whoever I want, and like, I love that. Like, it's a win-win for me, honestly. So for those who want to know, my OnlyFans is Elena Genevieve, so go subscribe to that and see all my little sex tapes, all my porn star tapes. Like, Elena Genevieve is a whole ass porn star now. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because it's just like, there are so many trans girls out there who are hiding their career, and like, there are so many younger trans girls who are wondering like what we're doing, and like, I'm gonna let them know, like, a lot of them are in the adult industry. So keep that in mind, guys. So just don't think that we're living this glamorous lifestyle and like all this wonder. It's like, we're not. The one thing though was like, I never had a sugar daddy. I never ever had a sugar daddy, and I never want to, because I didn't like the idea of pretending to get to know a guy just to get something out of it. Like, I never had one. Can't relate to people with sugar daddies. I just never found time to invest any time into getting a sugar daddy. I was like, fuck that. But yeah, that was it for this week's video, you guys. Give it a big thumbs up if you learned something. Leave a comment down below if you guys have any questions. I will definitely answer. But yeah, I will leave all my links with my social medias down below, and until my next video, bye guys.